Right. Arthur Martins, aka Deadbrush, did a wicked sketch of a helmet with a cap on. So I said, why not do robots wearing baseball caps challenge? So I'm going to just do one. So I did a doodle on a piece of paper. So I'm just going to recreate that in Sketchbook. And I'm just going to, real quick, sketch something in. So I'll speed this up a bit for the actual video. Yeah, I'll just sketch something in and then we'll Photoshop. Okay, so that's kind of close. So this is kind of like a robotic caricature with a baseball cap. No idea where the colour splits are going to be at this point, but I'm always wearing my AirPods. So there's a little throwback to the old earphones. And we're going to resolve a jawline. So what I'll end up doing, I think, is kind of resolving a lot of this in Photoshop. Let's just blur around a bit. I'm just going to go over them again, tidy up some lines, tweak the proportions a little bit, make him a little bit more stubby. He's got a very long nose at the minute. A bit more width in the face. Shallower chin. And I'm going to have just a nice crease to indicate the nose. And then the brow. It's like a frowning look there. It's frowning. Slightly slimmer mouth. Yeah, it's better. There we go. Text message. Who's it from? Oh. I'm sweating that line up in Photoshop. So I'm thinking that will be vent/mesh. Now I've always got a bit of stubble on, so I'm rarely clean shaven because I'm too lazy to shave. So what I think I might do some kind of speaker mesh like pattern to indicate a beard of some form. I'll end up using Illustrator to do that. And that's miles off. Tweak that. Kind of feels like we need a bit more volume in the back of the head. Looks like I've landed on top of my head and flattened myself. I think we'll tweak that with some vectors and stuff. And God, it's hard drawing something other than cars. This might turn out absolutely terrible, but hey, it's fun. So let's turn that one off. There we go. Happy days. Might end up throwing another surface in here just to finish off the chin area. Might even do it something along those lines. No, the surface won't work like that. I could do this, I suppose. It's a bit Iron Man. Yeah, it's too Iron Man. It's blatant Iron Man. I'll just throw a crease in here and have it fade out. Wash that surface out with a bit of Photoshop magic. And obviously it's going to have to be Adidas. Boom. Let's just tweak the eye. Proportions a bit wrong. Sort out the brow. I'll probably put a little vent hole in here. Cool. Let's do it. So I'm just going to save as PSD. PSD. Desktop. Call. Hashtag robots wearing baseball caps challenge, exclamation mark. Save. Right, open desktop. Bada bing, bada boom. My sketchbook, for some, I'm too lazy to sort this out, but my sketchbook is never set to 4K, so I'm just going to create a new 4K 4096 by 2160 landscape 300 DPI. Boom, create. You can see the difference. I right click, duplicate layers to the entitled one, click OK. Bosh, that's the difference in resolution, pretty massive. I'll close that now, don't need that. So I'm going to hold Command spacebar or Control spacebar to just pan in and out, rather than doing the plus and minus, which is incremented. Plus, when you let go of this, it goes back to the tool you're on, so you can do it whatever tool you're in. Don't have to leave your tool. Or if I did zoom, did that, I then have to go to my other tools like brush or selection or whatever. But if I've got, say if I've got brush selected, I hold Command spacebar, I can zoom in and out. As soon as I let go, back to brush. Best thing ever. Right. I always press F on my keyboard to go into, there's 3 modes. You've got standard, then you've got no tabs, and then you've got full screen. So full screen allows you to do whatever, and then if you just move over to one side, all your stuff appears. But it's always been a bit buggy, but it's good for just showing like seniors images full screen on the screen rather than actually working in this view. But if you press F on here, I can't pan unless I've zoomed in beyond the canvas, then I can pan. And that's because it's in tab mode. Don't ask me why. Press F, suddenly you can pan. So yeah, so I always press F twice into that mode. You still got all your UI, but you can pan. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm just going to ditch that, and I'm going to create a gradient. Ooh, magenta. I'm going to differ my gradient so I don't get the banding in it. Just drop that below there. Sketch. Right, don't want that anymore. Get rid of that. Delete. Oops. Okay, sketch. Nothing on that layer. Don't know why I even created that layer. Pen tool. P is pen. Set shape. But I'm actually going to use the brand new Curvature pen tool. Love this tool. And I'm just going to go around. I'm just going to create the silhouette basically. The curve might look a bit crazy to you at the minute. Don't worry about it. I'll sort it out in a minute. There. So I'm going to grab my convert point tool. I'm just going to go around and turn all the curvature off. Yeah. So now I'm just going to adjust all my line work. Hopefully sweeten all this up. Oops. Right, let's get rid of that stroke. This, I love this with the new Photoshop, where it's got a blue line to represent a path which hasn't been stroked or filled. So you can see it. That's such a massive improvement, just being able to see that line. So loving that, Adobe. You're doing good there. Let's just start to tweak and control these lines a bit better. Add a bit of crown to that. This one needs a bit of work, I think. Sort out the volume in the back of the head. Sort out the forehead. That kind of looks okay. Sort out his forehead again. Never really want anything like dead flat, because it kind of looks negative when it's dead flat. So like in here, just a little bit of curvature goes a long way. So let's move that down below the eye, tweak that bit. Let's just pull that out. I can always go back and change this. It's not like set in stone. It's the beauty of the vector. And let's kind of feels like it needs a little bit more control down here. Cool. Right. Fill that with a gradient. Boom. Let's go matte grey. So that's my shape layer. I can still pick it, tweak it, modify it, move it around. It's all good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to path out the details. Let's go and zoom in without losing the tool I was working on. It's absolutely brilliant. So my cursor on my mouse, my Wacom, I'm not doing lots of miles going to tools. It helps that you know the shortcuts as well, that kind of helps, but it saves time. Okay, let's just tweak that. Get that drop in the eye. So I'm just going to fill them black. Turn the sketch down a tad. Let's go all the way around the earphone, I think. You know what? I'm in an iron. I think I'll do the neck area in a different material. Let's just turn it down so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to use my favourite thing in Photoshop, which is a clipping mask, which is in various other tutorials I've done before, if you want to know how that works. Basically, it means I can go over the bounds of the base layer, and as soon as I make it a clipping mask, I haven't got to worry about matching the edges. And you'll see in a second. If you've never watched any of my videos before, you'll soon find out. So, let's just tweak all this. It's so important to get all this right, otherwise it'll just look terrible. So you can see that this layer's gone well off the bounds of the face and the eye. The eyes I'm going to just merge shapes so they're on one layer. So if I just turn all that off, so that's one layer. That's for your benefit. I'll name it eyes. We'll blend this lower jaw. Name that face. So then these two, I can just do a clipping mask. Basically, what that's done, it's restricted pixels to the pixels of the base layer. Right, sorry about that. Little one woke up. Needed to do some father duties. Let's turn his sketch back on. Obviously, earphones, earpods, Apple, they need to be white, so let's do them. I generally like place points at like the apex of whatever it is I'm working on. And then I can just go all the way around there. Pick it back up around here somewhere. Fill that white. Again, make that clip mask. And use my convert point tool, which I've got on shortcut. Kind of roughly place these in the right place. And sort this one out. So now I've got to try and sort out the stroke of the cable, or what's reminiscent of a cable. Obviously it's a robot, it's not actually a cable. But hey. And you'll probably realise as well that this cable is white is determined by the silhouette of the robot's head. So I'm actually tweaking the base layer at the minute to try and get better line for that. Swap this line out, it goes around the other side of the face. So it will gradually just disappear as it goes around the neck. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, it's just going back to this and just refining before I do any kind of tonal values or anything. Just got to get it right. When you're starting out, it can probably seem a bit tedious to do all this, but so you're taking renders to the next level. Just going to add a little rad in there, so it looks like it's nestled into something. So that's looking all right. Next thing on top of here is what I'm going to do. Behind the headphone. This might look completely random for now, but it'll all make sense in a minute. So basically I want to do the vent for the mouth, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate the neck area, grab the new layer and that layer, and I'm just going to merge together, and all I want is this bit in between these two lines. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. Let's just make that kind of match. I can tweak this in a bit anyway, but so this one, for this layer, just so you can see it, I'm going to do it white again. Okay, not do it grey. So that layer I want to be centered back. My new layer I want to intersect shape areas. Ta-da! So if I just hide these bits now, you can see what I've ended up with is that area in between. So, but when I select it, there's still two shape layers there together, and it's the bottom one is a full set to combine, and the one on top is set to intersect. I'll make that job black. And now I'm just going to tweak the proportion of this line, the way it leads in and out, away from that corner. So that is going to be the part between the two surfaces. Cool. So now I'm just going to throw in baseball cap. I'm going to intend for this baseball cap to be formed in part of the actual skull, so it's not going to be like a separate baseball cap, it's just going to look like a baseball cap. Or at least that's my plan in my head. But this is kind of where I kind of have to be precise. So it's the underside, so I want a little bit of material thickness as it goes underneath that line. That all looks good. Let's just tweak the line of that there. Just make that a dark grey. This bottom edge can just go beyond because of the clipping mask. And it's just a case of tweaking, and more tweaking. Just trying to get that line to match with that line. Okay, so that's going to cast shadow, so I'm going to want that on top of anything here, but so did I do an Adidas logo the other day when I did that football boot? I think I did. Graphics, patterns, Adidas logo, nope. Textures, nope. Nope, recent. Where's my recent window? Fred. Did I move it? Nope. Right, so I want that logo. Duplicate. Nope. Got some effects on there. Just going to clear layer styles. Clear layer styles. Just going to raise off that sketch. There we go, it's better. Cool. And right, underside of the hat, logo, that can all be clipping masked. So the basic foundations are there. I'm just going to do the brow now. So let's just whack that in. Something like so. This is just the shadow of the eyebrow. Dark grey. But that needs to go underneath the eyes. And I want the that shadow to follow the eye line. So I might have to tweak the eyes a little bit. Needs to come down quite a lot. Okay. Now, I want that to be quite a soft shadow. So I'm just going to feather that. In a minute, it'll start getting good. Right, I'm going to change this now to silver. But more of a dark silver. And make one of them white. Where is that white one? Something like that. Do nicely. Back to this brown. Just going to add the nasal area. Oops. Okay, that's looking good. Sorry, it might feel like there's not a lot of progress for a lot of faffing, but trust me, it will suddenly just start to appear. Let's get the basics in first and then do all the creative stuff later. So I don't want that over the grey area, which is that area. So why is that appeared? So going to select that. I'm just going to copy, go into that layer, paste, and then I'm just going to subtract that area. So now I've just got, if I isolate that layer, I've just got that. And then I want the eyebrows on the same layer. Just going to merge those. I'm going to refeather. Put the feather back in. Right, starting to get there. And now just going to do the underside of the chin. Just do that as a nice gentle shadow that's been cast on the underside of the chin. Just make the shadow resemble the chin shape. So flat, flat and rad. Okay, it's starting to look alright. Then I'm just going to do highlight around here. So that's going to appear in between all this stuff. So it might look random for now, but again, as always, just bear with me a minute. Now I'm purposely going around the other shape so that I can give the appearance of a material thickness, and it will all make sense in a few minutes. Might actually just get rid of that one. Okay. So this is going to give me a super clean highlight running around this robot's face. It's just a case of tweaking all these lines as usual. Trying to indicate a bit of volume in the cheekbone area. So not a straight line, something that's a bit round. Then I want to leave a few grey pixels to indicate material thickness on the metal work. And I should really go around this quite accurately and spend time properly refining these edges. But if I do that, I'm going to end up taking forever for the purpose of this video anyway. Right, so let's try and match silhouette the helmet. Just using the arrow keys to just nudge it around when you see it moving and not using the whack on. Okay, so if I just do that as white now. Good old fashioned white. Might want to make my Adidas logo like a grey or something. Okay, so that's highlight. I'm going to duplicate it. One of them is going to be feathered to the max. So because it's quite a high res file, the number of pixels to blur means it needs quite a few. And to also add to the blurred one that's got the feather, you can kind of make it slightly bigger than the one you want that to be a harsh highlight, if that makes sense. So the harsh one is always the smallest one. And same down here, just pull it out. Just gives a bit more fall off for the highlight. So it means your hot spot for your highlight looks more natural. And then we're going to do the same thing on the nose. So in this area around here, just going to bend it over the bridge of the nose. So everywhere I want a corner or a rad, you can plot 2 points and then just use the convert point tool to sort them out. Just tweak them for your form and shape. In this case, I want to have a dead straight nose. This robot has never broken his nose, so we'll go with that. And then again, duplicate, feather one of them massively. And already it starts to give you a little bit of form. And then I think it's getting pretty close to airbrushing some stuff on there. So I'm going to use the shadow. That one. Copy, paste, subtract from front shape. That gives me just this area here, which is just going to be slightly darker than that area. So it gives you that crease. And then we'll start using some airbrushing techniques in a second. Okay, so I think it's starting to look pretty cool. Eyes need to go on top. They're currently not on top. Where are they? Where are the eyes? And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to do an early glow. I'm going to also feather black. But one layer I'm going to make magenta. Then duplicate that layer, reduce the feather, make that black. Lose it. Keep the effect. Just make it bigger. I'll also do an inner glow as well. Same thing. And let's just see what these do. What gives me the best effects? Let's just increase that. Clearly only slightly, not too much, otherwise it looks a bit crazy. Make sure that's clipping mask to the base layer. Why are you doing that? Right, so I'm just going to go through the process now of sorting the order out of this stuff. So that's a shadow, so that needs to stay underneath all the white stuff. That's a chin, so that needs to stay over that. That's the mouth, that needs to stay relatively high. Baseball cap can be around there. So highlights, I'm just going to colour them red. So at a glance I know what I'm looking at. Let's start airbrushing. So let's just tweak the shape of that. I'm just going to do straight off the bat magenta. Make sure its harshness is pretty low. And just that side of his face is just going to reflect the environment. Same as that down there. Just going to cycle through the layers. See what looks best. Dark colour looks pretty good. Underneath all of this I'm just going to do a shadow cast by the actual cap. Now if the light's coming this way it's going to be like quite far across his face. And well, just for pure convenience, go down. Because it's under the baseball cap, I can just do that. I kind of want this to be like a mid-tone. So let's just pop some curvature on that guy's face. Gonna need another point in here, I think. Set into multiply so he picks up all the colour underneath him. Oops. Let's just make that go a little bit further. Cool. Let's make it a little bit lighter because it's set to multiply, so it's naturally going to be darker anyway. Oh, I'm going to do the whole feather. Quite soft. I'm going to duplicate that. Same thing. I'm just going to make one of them really harsh. But because they're both on multiply, I need to accommodate that by reducing the opacity on them. Otherwise, you won't end up seeing one of them. I'm just going to pull the harsh highlight, shadow, whatever, slightly inboard of the feathered one. Make them a little bit darker so it does still stand out. Now I'm just going to airbrush some grey, set it to multiply. And just give it some airbrush. Can't beat a bit of airbrush. Then what I'll end up doing is just using a layer mask on the harsh highlight. Just fade that out. But coming back to this, it feels like that curve needs to better match the silhouette, and also the silhouette needs to move a little bit. It's looking okay. But Control or Command click on the shadow of the undercap, and I'm just going to add some more tone to that on a new layer just above it. Going back to this layer, feels like I need to just change the levels. Let's just make it grey, slightly darker. Put the magenta on top. So just the magenta layer. So I want it to pick up the grey that's underneath it. Let's turn that sketch off now, I don't need that sketch. And let's just pick that, invert, create a layer mask. So this is the fun stuff now. This is when it starts to go a bit crazy. And what is causing, is it the grey? Yeah, it's the grey. Right, so that layer, just going to set that to multiply. And that's quite soft at the minute. It's been feathered quite a lot, so I need a duplicate of that. So let's duplicate it first. Still want that to be slightly feathered though, just not as much. Let's make them normal. So this one, that is feathered. Just want to pull that down a bit. Then let's make this one. Let's just make it dead tight for now. There we go. Then what I'll do, I'll use a layer mask on that, just to soften off the underside. And to a degree, I'll soften off that edge there. And it's just getting a bit mucky in here. There we go, that's better. So I'm just going to layer mask the harshness of this highlight as well. That's all good. So they're currently sat underneath something. What colour is that? It's just, so why is that? Okay. Don't want it to be proper black. Grey will do nicely. And then the feathered one is a bit of layer masking as well, just to tidy up all those edges. Let's get rid of that pink bit. And just tidy that up. Let's just knock the intensity of that back a bit. Let's just knock that back a bit as well. And what we'll do, get some white. And now, because of the layer I did here earlier, which layer is it? It's that layer. because that's on top and it's set to normal, when I airbrush that white layer, then as you can see, I don't have to re-render any of that crazy shit, because if I turn that layer off, it just sits on top. Then what I will do is I'll just use a layer mask and just airbrush out the fade on that crease. And then I'm going to Command or Control click on that shape layer, just create a new layer above it. And then just pick something to create the negative of that chin. And I think underneath the white area of the headphone, I'm just going to add almost air intake style. Also, what layer is that? That one. Oh, I just used the layer mask on that as well. And while I've done that, I'll just add a little bit of a negative in there. It's pretty good. Let's go back to this white layer. I'm going to do a new white layer on top of the white one I did before. And to go above something somewhere. Right, what layer does that one actually sit underneath? Okay. And I'm literally just going to erase this because I don't need it down there. That's cool. I'm just going to do really soft, low opacity erase on that new white area. And then I'm going to, with the eraser, super hard erase, but within the areas that's been erased previously. So it gives me quite a reflective finish. Just knocking a rad on there so it looks like it's bending towards the edge of the surface. And that looks pretty cool so far. Just going to add some form to this. Just going to soften off that harsh erase I've just done. then let's just add a little bit of magenta. And there's reflections. Now what I want to do is pick the cap. Actually what I could just do is just airbrush the white to give me a nice edge. Actually that looks wrong. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to duplicate, put it underneath, make it white. And then I'm just going to move it to the point where it goes beyond. Boom. Around the mouth I just kind of want like a flat spot or an edge or something. So yeah, that one. But I only want a stroke, so I don't need that one. Just need that one. Put on overlay. Cool. Start to look pretty cool. Let's add a bit more tone to the back of the helmet down here. A hint of negative surface. Not so loud, I'm just going to kind of add a shadow along the edge of the robot's face. But I will tone it down, it's not going to be quite that bad. It's quite a harsh shadow at the minute. In fact, if I just turn it on to normal, I'll just change normal layer to something slightly better, and then I'll put that underneath magenta. There we go. Looks pretty cool. And now we need to start thinking about representing the material slightly better. My helpful one, the correct tool for all things which are clicking on. One. Magenta, multiply. So now, to make this look more metallic, with the lack of magenta, I'm going to keep magenta. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get grey over the helmet area. And I'm just going to convert to smart objects, add some noise, and then I'm going to set that to overlay. Maybe not an overlay. Let's put colour dodge and let's tone it down. Put it at the top. In fact, I think it probably works better on the jawline. Let's tweak the noise level. Make it slightly lighter. Put blur, motion blur. Add a bit more noise. See if that helps. Yeah, that helps. Cool. And I think there just needs to be a bit more tone in the face in here somewhere. I think that this layer is too dark. It needs to fit in with the rest of. So it's too light. Yeah, that's better. Let's just feather it a little bit as well. All that puffing it, sometimes it's just easy to actually just airbrush to get some more natural. Okay, let's just layer mask that off a bit. Boom. Pretty happy with that. Just going to duplicate this and do a few strokes. And airbrush some stuff back in there. Where's that white? Right, let's grab some graphics. I can't remember what that one is. So it is. Oh, that's a bit much. Try this one. Oop. What pattern shall I do? Let's open Illustrator. Why is my cloud not signed in? Let's do new. Do right. I just want like an array of circles basically. So just do that. Doesn't matter what I do for now. Effect, transform. Oh, that's effect, transform. 20, move. Come on. Maybe I should have done a small circle. Come on, Jesus Christ. How big's a circle? Right. Minus the 1. Maybe that's a tad too small. 20. Effect, transform. Move. 30. Do 25 of them. Preview. Let's do 50 of them. Might not be enough. 100. Right, effects. Transform. Apply new effects. Move it down 10. Move it across 10. One of you. Preview. Let's go to. Oh god, it's all changed. Appearance. Panel. Stroke. Where's my effects? What the hell? Sorry, it's completely changed and I've completely forgot about what all this does. Okay. I would have thought that would be in there. Clearly not. Second one. Let's move it 20. That's quite wide. $25 kind of makes sense. Do a new effect. Transform. Apply. Brr. 20. Move it down. 50. Go. Same we've got. Let's go back into that transform. Let's do 50. Go. So that's my mesh. then what I'll do, go to not my libraries, my layers. Thank you, Illustrator, for moving everything around. I'm just going to duplicate that layer, keep the original, select that, object, expand appearance, and then copy, go back into Photoshop, and then let's just go to the top, zoom out because it's going to be massive, paste, shape layer, boom. 3 transform, there we go, look at all those dots. What's it doing? Cancel that. What I will do is I'll drag that into my graphic patterns, Bosch, cancel that. Right, it's got him. Wicked. Right, delete that then. Don't need. Goodbye. What has that done there? Okay, it's still there. Let's just move it. Okay, sorry about that. Little one woke up. Had to go and sort him out. Pesky kids. I love him really. Right. Where were we? Come on, Photoshop. Right, didn't want to rotate that yet. Undo. I've got open. Illustrator. Go away. Clear. That's better. Illustrator likes to cane my RAM for some reason. And the fact that I'm recording this video and using Photoshop doesn't really help. Right, is it disappeared? Yeah. Come on, wake up. So this is going to basically be my daily shadow. Speaker mesh style. Or at least that's the plan anyway. Let's just rotate it 45 degrees. Okay. Both there will do. Fill 0 and clip mask. And then Bevel Boss. Yeah. Right, I only want that to be present within grey area. Mask that. Drop that below the white stuff. Okay. Overlay. That's better. I don't quite want the whole thing that full on, so just going to use layer mask and just paint out what I don't want. Make that black so it actually looks like a hole. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Where were we? Sorry about that. Just mask off what I don't want. And the file's clearly getting massive now. Where's that nose white layer? The harsh one. What have I done with that layer? Oh, no, it's waking up. Come on, Photoshop. Let me just turn that layer off. So that's slowing it down a tad. Right, okay. Where's the brush? That needs to go underneath the white as well. Okay, right. Part lines, I think, and graphics and decals. Let's just add background. Delete that mask. I've got a feeling there's 2 circles or something, because that's not doing what it's normally supposed to do. Yeah, that's what's wrong with it. Oh, dear me. Right. For some reason, there's 2 circles on top of each other. Let's just open up pattern again. Yep, there's 2 circles everywhere. Oh, god damn it. That's why it's so slow. Right, 20 by 20. No stroke, just a fill. Effect, transform, move, 50. Go. Effect, transform, apply the effect. 30, 31 preview, half the distance. Okay. Object. Effect transform. Forget what I'm doing now. Right, move vertically 60. Preview. select object, expand. Okay, that should, that's already moving loads better. There we go, that's what I expected to do. Let's undo that. Yeah, so the root cause of all that was those duplicates. There's a circle for the stroke and a circle for the fill. It's still slow, but it's a 100 by 100 times 50. What is it now? It's a row of 2 columns of 100 times 50. So there's quite a lot of circles there. So I'm just going to pop that in there somewhere. I'm just going to do a duplicate of that for the background. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Sometime today, come on. Okay, so one's gonna go down here. a second. Oh, come on. Let's just turn that off. Turn this ridiculous size one on. Right, and what I'm going to do now is that looks pretty cool. Do it as a gradient there. Gradient. Let's see which way that's going in a second. Let's just move that slightly further over there. That's cool. Happy with that. Right, I'll turn that off for now, so it's out the way. Plotline and graphics. So just doing the finishing details now. Just adding some decals. Put that on overlay. Maybe not. Cheeky little logo. Put that. Now I'm just going to do some plot lines. Black 0.25, super thin, black. duplicate that and make it white. Set it to overlay. I'll just make that go to the other side. And do an elliptical, well, circular part line. Same thing. So that way. Okay. Let's get some of this crazy pattern in here. So just using the layer mask to reveal, I'm just going to repaint out the area for the mask. Drop a bevel emboss on that. Set to overlay, but I'll turn it down a little bit. In a bevel, down. And that hasn't really appeared. For whatever reason. It's a bit too much. Just going to mask out all that area there. What layer that is. A few stray pixels going on there. Let's just turn it off so I can carry on working with it. And let's just throw in a few more part lines. I'm thinking let's go down here, because the pot line itself will help describe the form that's happening. So if the form and surfacing isn't accurate enough, your part lines can describe the surface directions and stuff for you. Okay, almost done, I think. Almost there. Then just a black one of those. And move it to the right and upper. Bish bosh bam. Pretty happy with that. So I'm just going to do an ellipse behind the helmet. For that. Turn the mesh on. Add some more decals. Can't be a decal. Put that to overlay. Job is a good one. Let's just Hold on. Those well. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. One last thing to do. Hashtag robot wearing baseball caps. Oh, I don't know if I've changed one. Oh, no, no, one. Acumen Pro. That's the one. Acumen Pro. Sorry, I've just been really picky about this. I just realised it's been silent for ages. Right, robots. Robot wearing baseball caps. Happy days. Robo. I'll leave it up.